My name is Flo Fu. I'm a musician, director. I love aviation so much. People started to call me Airflow.
I'm making sure that this part is still connected to the wing properly, because otherwise this can get loose and it can start rattling around and this whole thing can come off. So I'm making sure that the rivets are in good shape and we don't need to replace them. I just move the wing up and down, and if I see it shaking a little bit, then we know that we need to do something about it. And we shake this like this to make sure these bolts are tight enough, because in order to tighten them, you need to come in there and also hold one of the bolts, and then you have to move part of it. And just for the rest of them, go through it, and you check everything to make sure it's good. And you give everything a little bit of a shake to see if there's any rattle, because if there is a rattle, then that means that the part of the bolt is like it's untwisting, and then something could come undone. This one is a little bit different. It's supposed to it's a bit of a socket, so it's supposed to twist a little bit, because this type of airplane is supposed to come down sometimes on rougher surfaces. So that's why we have bigger wheels, because the bigger wheels make it have more cushion and it absorbs all the shock. So yeah, you just wiggle everything around, make sure it's all intact. And also, this is, even if it rattles like this a little bit, that's okay. You just want to make sure that this pin is in here, because that makes it so it doesn't untwist. Because in order for this to move freely, this needs to be a little bit loose, so it can't be totally tight. And then that's the same socket. You just check all the bolts. On my way here, when I was doing this, I made one big pre-flight, like I did this on the whole airplane, and then throughout my flight I checked one section at a time, not the whole thing, so it saved time, but as I went along I made sure that everything was still intact. But it was quicker, because I would get out of my plane and I'd check this wing, and then the next flight I'd check that one, and then so forth. And come a little bit undone because of these bolts. Sometimes the rivet gets a little bit loose, but you just have to tap it a bit and then it fixes it. So you just shake that a bit. This is what controls connected to the rudders where my feet move them. So this is how I control myself staying straight on the runway, as well as in the air. If I picked up my nose from the ground and just went on my back wheels, I could use this to help me go left and right too. So then everything else is symmetrical on the other side, but I still need to check it. In the same socket, so I have a little wiggle, that's okay. And also, when you're looking at each of the wings, you have to look inside of these sockets. It might be a little bit hard to look in there, but you look inside. Actually, you can look in through here. I have to stick in your camera, but there's some bolts in there that you have to make sure the threads are still there. I'm not sure if you're seeing it. But typically, you'll look up through here, and you can just peek around. And if you see the other side of the bolt that screws in, then it's good. This is good. Typically you want that right there, but it moves back every once in a while. Also, you're also checking for any like black around the rivets, because that means that it's been rattling around, and that means that you need to change the rivet or you're going to make a hole. So you're already checked up on that, and we don't have any to show, but you'll normally have like a black ring around it because it's been rattling around while you're flying. This right here should be straight and shouldn't be wobbling. And you're looking for this wobble. If this wobbles a little bit, that's fine, because it's a tube inside of this. So you want it to move just a tad. So after we pre-flight all the wings and all the connections, you go back to the engine and you make sure that all the major bolts are fully connected, or like they're tightened. So my dad would just tighten them, but what you would do is you use your fingers and make sure none of them are loose to the touch.
What's this engine?
This is a Kawasaki 440. The whole airplane starts to shake a little bit when you're in the air because of the motor. The fuel goes up and down, and sometimes it would go past empty, and he's like, oh my gosh, I have no more fuel left. So my brother did the same trip I was doing 4 years ago, and I'm kind of like doing the same thing, except now we already know what it's going to be like, so I had a little bit more of an advantage, but also I had to go farther. Yeah, but you can continue checking these. These will never come undone because of the way they're twisted, to make sure they never come undone unless you snip them off. And the rest of the things we tightened this morning, so you don't need to check them. So that's pretty much all for the pre-flight.